If you would have asked me how I thought this would end, I never would have been able to give you this answer. I'll tell you what it is in just a moment. Well, hello and welcome to Alamance County Talks Politics. My name is Keith, and if you like this information like this, let me encourage you to please hit the like, hit the subscribe button. But let's go ahead and get into this. I'm talking about, if you'd asked me how I thought this would end concerning the RAD Range and the neighboring community, I would not have been able to give you this answer. I never would have been able to see something like this happening. And what I'm talking about is the RAD Range. I'm talking about this building owned by Rudy Cartassi and the RAD Range in general. I was actually I woke up this morning and I actually checked my phone and saw that I'd been sent a message saying that this building had burned down, that it was no longer standing. And so I um, actually read the message, and I thought, I hope no one was injured. But to the side of me in this picture, you can see this is the only image that I was able to get a hold of that showed me the building on fire, and also showed it looks like there are many fire trucks there I'm not sure if they're trying to put the fire out. It looks like it's an inferno. But if you'd asked me how this was going to end, I never would have been able to give you an answer concerning this. As we know, this situation, the contention between the neighbors and between Rudy Cartassi and RAD Range was quite thick. It was getting to a point, in fact, had gotten to a point to where the neighbors and Rudy were actually in litigation. And let me show you this one more page, and I'll sort of explain to you what's unfolded. But you can see here in these images, of course, the RAD Range. You could see the place on fire, and then the image beside of me, that's the RAD Range, which at one time was, I believe it was Owl's Fine Food and Spirits on one occasion. It was a previous gun range as well, but it was also a church, I think, met there. And before that, I think when it was built, I believe it may have been home to the Barnwells. And someone correct me if I'm incorrect on that. But anyway, the place has been burned. It's burned down. It's no longer there. And the many questions that are left regarding the situation. In fact, I'd actually spoken with Rudy and had talked to him. In fact, we'd made several videos together and explaining some of the issues that the neighbors were complaining about, projectiles leaving the gun range, the noise. They actually went to numerous county commissioner meetings and were discussing this issue. And now they were actually in litigation. And after last time I spoke to Rudy, they were planning on going to court on Monday, which would be tomorrow. Not sure exactly what would happen. He did tell me that, in fact, he did this in a Facebook live post where he was explaining that his attorney, I think, had dropped him because the neighbors, from what I understood or understand, they came together and if I'm understanding it correctly, they pooled their money. They got an attorney who then submitted a firm that submitted Rudy with, and he said about 200 pages of discovery information that was needed. And he was basically saying he couldn't do it on his own. And so I think he started a GoFundMe page to try to help, pay for some of the litigation, to offset that cost. He could no longer financially do it himself. And so now he was asking for help. And as far as I knew, they were going to court on Monday to discuss what would happen. Like I said, I think he was expecting potentially to stay open a little longer, depending on what the judge ruled on Monday. But I know that he had said he was looking for another place for a smaller facility to be able to sell small firearms and ammo or guns and ammo and things of that nature, to continue the other part of his business. So I don't know exactly what to say here. I'm actually dumbfounded to a point. I never expected us to be in this place discussing discussing the place being uh, on fire and being destroyed by fire. And I think it raises a lot of questions. I'm sure people are going to want to know, and I'm sure there were. I'm not sure the fire department is that's over that area, but there were many of them out there. But there'll be one or maybe several that are doing an investigation and try to identify the cause of the fire. And I guess we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. But as far as I know, they still have a court date for tomorrow, and I'm not sure how that will unfold. Not sure how that will transpire, but it looks like this issue between the RAD Range and the neighboring community is, at this point, it looks like it's come to an end. And it's come to an end and left quite a few questions. And we hope those questions will be resolved in the very near future, and explaining what actually transpired that started the fire. And we'll see what happens. But let me say this: Rudy had also even said that there was a buyer that he already had a buyer. So, I know there's a lot of suspicion, rightly so, from both sides, from both perspectives. And like I said, let's hold off. Let's see exactly what the fire marshal says. Let's see if there's any video imagery. Let's see if there's surveillance, anything of that nature. And I don't know. I'm pretty numb at this point because I surely was not expecting it to end on a note like this between them. So, uh, anyway, if you've liked this video, let me encourage you to like the subscribe button. This is Alamance County Talks Politics. If you have any comments that you'd like to leave, please put them in the comment section. And until next time, take care.